तू चलता चल तू चलता चल तू चलता चल तू बढ़ता
I will now hand you over to Yogita for the interview of our successful student.
Hello, Akshat. Thank you for joining us. You can start with your introduction and tell us about what all you did for SSBs and how it did all, go. Plus, a brief about how NFA also contributed. Yes, please go ahead.
Uh, yes, ma'am. First of all, thanks a lot. So my name is Akshat Ghosh. I belong to New Panvel, which is near to Mumbai, and I got recommended in my fourth attempt for NDA from to AFSB Mysore. This this was my fourth attempt. I joined NFA in January, and Colonel Nehru sir told me about my what needed to improve, and he said that it was everything was fine, nothing much was needed. He only told me to improve my running speed and continue to do what I had to do, yeah, like focus on general knowledge and make a daily routine. So I did that. So before going for this attempt, 2 months before this, I followed my daily schedule regularly. And before going to the SSB, I was quite confident of getting recommended. So I think that reflected in my performance. So now about the SSB, on day one, it was in 9th of August. So on first day, 79 guys reported there. Out of that, 61 got screened in. The number of candidates were very less, so most of us were going to get screened in. So I was not very much concerned about the screening process, and it was quite easy too. The OIR in AFSB Mysore is very easy, so we can do it easily, and the PPDT was also quite good. We uh, we managed to make a common group story out of the given picture, and we reached a common conclusion, and we completed it very well. So 61 got screened in. The same evening we had our psychology test. So it was from 5 to 8:30. First was TAT. There were 12 pictures, so it was good, nothing difficult, as usual, the stories as they are. Then there was WAT. So I completed 54 WATs in the given time. Thereafter, there was SRT, and I completed all of them. So I completed 59 in, and I had around 1.5 minutes left for the last SRT, and I was a bit in doubt regarding the last SRT. So that was like your NCC commander is ordering you to jump from like slide down from a mountain around 3,000 meters tall. So I was in a doubt to what to do regarding that. So as Sir says that when in doubt, use practical sense. So I wrote that I thought that there must be snow on the mountain and there might be some glaciers. So it would not be a good thing to slide down without any safety gears or equipment. So I wrote that it will not be safe to do so, and I will politely refuse. So I used the practical sense, and that was the only SRT that I faced a bit problem in that. And thereafter, there was SD. I had prepared very well regarding it, so it went fine. The next day, on the second day, I had my interview, and this interview was a bit different regarding the procedure. He did not take any certificate of my certificates. He just focused on my PIQ, the interviewing officer. And initially, basically, all the CIQ questions were asked in 15-20 minutes. It was done. And then he was like, what do you want to say? So just tell me anything. What do you want to say? So I spoke for 2-3 minutes. Then again, second time, he asked the same thing. Do you want to add? So again, 2-3 minutes I said something. Then third time again he asks, "What do you want to say?" So again I said for 2-3 minutes. Then fourth time again he asked, "What do you want to add? Anything more?" So again I said for 2-3 minutes. And for the fifth time, one more time, he again asked that, "Do you want to add something more?" So again I said for 2-3 minutes. So this was my interview. It was not like specific something like a usual interview. And I spoke about my daily routine. I had prepared my daily routine, so I specifically spoke about that. I had spoken about what I had written in my PIQ extensively. I spoke on those aspects. Then I also answered all the questions very well without getting stuck at anything. Regarding general knowledge and current affairs, he uh, in 5 minutes he asked me that, "What do you want to say about the current national news, international news, and also about army, navy, and air force?" So I spoke about the current international affairs that were going on, and it what is the geopolitical scenario regarding that. So I said a lot on that. Regarding air force, navy, and army, I spoke for around 1 to 2 minutes on each service, and he was quite interested in navy rather than air force, and he was asking me uh, questions about United States Navy and the United States aircraft carrier and what are its operations. So I knew one aircraft carrier and told about it, about the recent operation, what it was doing. So interview was completed in 45 minutes and it went well. Nothing difficult. It went easy. And before my interview, this time I was not feeling nervousness at all. Nothing. I was very calm and composed. In my previous attempts, I used to feel nervousness, but this time I had no feeling of nervousness. So this was a different thing from my previous attempts. So the third day was free. We were playing table tennis and stuff, doing different things. On fourth day, we had our group task. So it started with group discussion. There was one topic regarding a social issue, and it was, I think, about OTT platforms and what strict regulations can happen uh, regarding that. And the second topic, I don't quite remember it. GP, next regarding GP, it was also quite good. So in this, there were 4-5 problems. One was that train was coming and the tracks where some few miscreants had removed the files from the track. That was one problem. Second problem was that a forest ranger was injured. The same miscreants had attacked that forest ranger and he had dislocated his shoulder. The third problem was that there was a oil pipeline and it was leaking. That was the third problem. And one more problem was a cow was stuck in the mud and we had to remove it. So my priorities were that as the train was very near to the track, it would reach the track in 15-20 minutes. So we gave first priority to stop the train initially. So there was a crossing of the train. So we had to go there and inform the man who was posted in the crossing to alert the train. And the secondly, we took the forest ranger to the nearest hospital. The third one was we had to rectify the pipeline. So we informed there was a, what do you say, water technician near the pond. There was a pond and there was a water technician. So we went there and informed him about the problem so that he can go and rectify it. And I did not give any priority to remove the cow because it would just waste our time. So that was the problem. And the group solution was also similar. This was the group solution. There were no problems. I so when the final group solution was being discussed, they gave priority to the removing the cow from the mud, and I was also not agreeing to the one part of the group solution. So when the group testing officer asked what anyone has anything to add, so I said that. So the problem was we had to take the forest ranger to the hospital, right? So there were two options. Either you take him through the Kacha Sadak, which was, and the hospital was 8 kilometers away. So it would take, according to me, it would take around 2-3 hours to go and come back. As because he has dislocated his shoulder, so we have to drive very slowly. Otherwise, it will pain a lot. So it would take 2-3 hours regarding that. And the other option was that cross the pond using a boat and then use the Pakka Sadak to reach the hospital. So we would reach there in half the time. At least 1.5 hours will be recovered, saved in that. So that was my only suggestion regarding the common conclusion. And everything then went well. Thereafter, we had our progressive group task. So we had a group of 9 candidates. So initially we did all the tasks very well, but there, if from my group itself, 4 guys got recommended, and everyone wanted to say something. I was not able to speak my points, like make myself heard. I was trying, but no one was listening. So I had to work hard a lot to say my ideas a lot, and few guys were getting ideas very quickly, so we were moving very fast. So that's fine, that's okay. But I was not able to contribute very well according to my expectations. But then I managed to give some ideas, and in the third obstacle, there was a situation where we were stuck, and I tried to give an idea. Although the idea was good, but that was the implementation at that point was wrong, and I could not implement my idea properly. So I think that I thought that I would be implement able to implement that idea, but I could not do that properly. So that was, I was not very satisfied with my performance in PGT. And also few things that happened, that in the fourth obstacle, I was near to the finish line, and there were 2 guys left. So we had to bring them to the finish line. So I suggested one idea, and the GTO straight away rejected that idea, saying that it won't work. As I was not near to that specific obstacle, so I could not implement it as I had described. But one guy, one guy was, during the whole course of PGT, he was taking my ideas and implementing as his own. So this happened many times in the PGT. So even then, even in the fourth group of obstacle, he took my idea, and after 1 or 2 minutes, he implemented that as his own, and then all the 2 guys came and we completed our PGT. So according to my expectations, my progressive group task was not up to the mark, and I was not very happy about it. So then I thought that let's not dwell on that. Let's focus on half group task. So in the half group task, usually we get divided in groups in serial wise or by odd even sequence. But in this uh, attempt, the GTO divided the group according to his method, according to his calculation, something like that. He did that. So I was in the group with 5 members. The group was quite cohesive, and I could give my ideas and implement them properly. So we completed our half group task easily. There was no problem. Then comes lecture 8. In lecture 8, I had to speak on uh, disaster management. So I gave, although I did not know much about disaster management, I gave some ideas, my own ideas on how to counter the what can be done to improve the situation. Like we can give first aid aids to training, first aid training to school children and college students, because usually in schools we don't get such training. Like what to do in if we get such injuries, or what to do in such type of situation. So that was my idea. And even in lecture 8, I ended my lecture 8 abruptly. So even that was not according to my expectations. I did not perform well in lecture 8 according to my expectation. So that ended on a mixed note. The day ended on a mixed note, and I decided that okay, I'll do my best in best tomorrow on the fifth day. So on the fifth day, we had the remaining obstacles for group task. First was command task. So I was called second last by the GTO. There were 9 members, so I was the eighth person to go. The first 4 5 guys got easy problems, and then the remaining guys got difficult problems. So even me, the GTO was constantly making my situation difficult. He altered the structures 4 5 times. Only once I could not solve it. Rest other times I could do it easily. And in individual obstacles, I completed 6 obstacles. Although I attempted 8, I fell down from 2 obstacles, so I could not complete it properly. And then the time was up. In final group task, we easily completed the task. That was no problem, and I could also give some ideas there. At the same time, our conference had started. It was around 11:30 a.m. and we had to go very fast and to the conference. So my chest number was 57. So first 30 guys were called, and my interviewing officer had to go somewhere. So we were called earlier. So 2 guys were called earlier, 51 and 57, and my conference happened earlier in the day. And regarding my conference, I had to wait outside for 12 minutes. That was a lot of time. In the during the conference, I was only asked 3 questions. What tasks could you not perform up to your expectations and would like to repeat? So I said progressive group tasks. And what task what did I best? So I said half group task. So and remaining questions were basic questions like suggestions and stuff. So that was my conference. And thereafter, at around 5 p.m., our results were declared, and 14 of us got recommended. So this was my whole SSB experience this time. And regarding NFA's influence, Nehru sir interviewed me on in January this year, and at that time he said that you're fit for selection, nothing to worry about. Although he had said that we had less time, but he said that you're good enough, you should get recommended. But after that attempt itself, I got conferenced out in February. So after that, I had lost interest in doing all the activities and stuff, but I still did it on my own. And I followed all the advice given by sir, and that helped me in improving my daily life, and that helped me a lot in my SSB. So yeah, that's it.
For this elaborate this pointing out of what all happened in the SSBs. I especially wish you to talk more about how your assessors can make you nervous. You repeatedly ask some questions. Plus, your GTO was putting hindrances in your task. So, how important it is to be calm and not get bogged down by the nervousness that is the pressure, stressful situations that you are put into. Can you please point out?
Yes, I think you should be calm. Like it happens with experience, it develops with experience. Although we can try to be calm. Like I said in my group task, in my progressive task, when I gave an idea, he outrightly rejected that idea in front of everyone, and I was like, okay, can't help it. So I stayed calm. I did not react in like in a strange way, and I let others to do implement their ideas. And after some time, one guy implemented my own idea, and we completed our task. So I think that went well. And in my interview also, I was not very nervous this time. I was calm and composed, relaxed. So yeah, everything went good.
Plus, how to buck up after failures. Like this was not your first attempt, your previous attempts, and then how did you tell yourself, "I have to do this"?
Yeah, so after this was my fourth attempt, so after my third attempt, that was my lowest point. I really did not want to give one more attempt. It was in February, so I was thinking like I don't want to do this anymore. I am giving up. But sir, I had told sir, but he had said that you have one more attempt, but the decision lies with you. You can go ahead. And even my parents were quite fed up after getting rejected a lot of times. My mother was like, "No need to give one more attempt. Focus on defense forces after graduation." And my father was of the same opinion, although he gave me an option that you, uh, the decision lies with you. What you want to do, we will support you with whatever decision you take. So even I was not ready to go for one more attempt. 95% of my mind was telling me to leave it, and 5% was telling me to no, yeah, the hope is still left, you can go ahead. So I took some time. I took 10 days to think, just think, clear my mind and think what step should I take. So after 10 days, I took a decision, and I stood by it. I did not think twice again. So after that, I kept going on.
One more thing, your group planning exercise very good for this. How important is logic building during group planning exercises? Like logical thinking, what you can do in your capacities. You called up and delegated some of the tasks to other person, and not you did not do everything on your own, and you were very elaborative in your GP. What all happened? Your points are also good, so please point out regarding GP, group planning exercise.
Okay, so there was one problem of that oil spill. So the pipeline is leaking, right? So we are not trained in rectifying that specific problem. So there was a water technician there. So he has the necessary tools, he has the necessary experience regarding that. So we can just show him the directions or take him there, and he can do the necessary work. We don't know how to do it. And there was also that we had to remove that cow. So I had practiced GPs and NFAs, group activities. So sir always says that no need to give any priority to that. So I also gained that experience from that, because we don't know how to remove a cow. So there was no point. And the third point was that of that forest ranger, he had dislocated his shoulder. So speaking from, I had a similar experience. So if you have a dislocated shoulder, then even taking one step is very painful. And so if you take him through a kacha road, then it will take a lot of time. It will take 2 3 hours just to go and come back, and then you have to also take him to the hospital. So rather than that, we can go through the cross the pond for some time, and then we can use the Pakka road, which is more smooth. So there will be less pain. So I think logic is more important. And the group conclusion was against this, my solution. But when the GTO asked, what do you have any suggestions? So I told my logic, and GTO did not say anything. So, okay. So that's it. I think we should go with logic.
I do not have any questions from Akshat. I am just going to make some comments on his performance and preparation, which will help others. See, firstly, Akshat, when he joined us, he was quite confident to get selected. Now, he did not get selected earlier, probably a little bit low on motivation or energy. That may have been two issues. Otherwise, there was nothing out of place. Now, coming on to the interview where he told that, the interviewing officer didn't ask him much. And when he started asking about Navy rather than Air Force. Now, see, think of that, what would have happened? That the interviewing officer would have realized quite early, in the first 7 10 minutes only, that Akshat is quite competent and he should be selected. And he was trying, that is why he was asking him things which were out of his comfort zone, to explore as to what is his level of understanding of things. So that was the issue there. as far as interview is concerned. Coming on to the GTO task, you see, there Akshat displayed that he is rationally solid, as also he has the confidence in his rationality and his beliefs to go against the group in a very calm and confident manner. And that is why he could put across his points in the group planning exercise. And his points were absolutely valid. And I'm sure the others did not have any logical arguments against it. So these are some of the things which stood out. As far as confidence and all is concerned, the issue and all, maybe the GTO probably found that his energy level was not that good. For maybe, I'm not sure about that. But apparently, the interviewing officer and the psychologist would have found Akshat quite fit for selection, and the interviewing officer would have rated him fairly high, and the GTO would have found no reasons to go against Akshat's selection, because he would also have found nothing very wrong other than maybe the energy level was not that high. So these are some of my comments. I have nothing to ask. Akshat, you have done well. You have done your family and us proud. You have been a very frank and straightforward and competent person all through. Good that you have maintained your energy level. Please continue maintaining that, because you will need plenty of energy to go through your training. I hope you will abide by this advice and keep the energy level up. Fine, Akshat?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. Thank you,
Congratulations to you.
sir.
Now you're open to questions from others.